The idea that a young person can change the world, when I heard about MPAC, that was the first thing that crossed my mind. You're given the opportunity, you can actively participate in political society.
Our young Muslim American leaders are being talked about, but are not being talked to. So what we said is, we want to bring young Muslims to the nation's capital. We want to give them, and the word was, access.
We are about helping decision makers make better decisions, and we're about developing leaders. This program is a place for you to think hard about who you are, why you matter in America as both a Muslim and an American, and how you want to take what you get out of this experience and implement it in your life.
So I was born and raised in Chicago. I kind of got involved in MPAC because I wanted to expand out of the Midwest region and kind of see what goes on in DC. I came here with a set of issues that I thought would be important to address regarding the Muslim community, and I want to learn how we can help make a difference in addressing those issues.
To the credit of the summit, I mean, that's what it is designed to do, is to provide a very comprehensive experience within a short amount of time to really give the participant the full flavor of what government and civic participation is really like.
Have you faced any challenges when you go out there to Muslim communities?
It's a good step, but at the same rate, it's vastly inadequate. So.
I want to ask if you know about, like, what do you think about Islamic feminism?
I was surprised to see the degree of negativity of the American opinion about Muslims.
You're consistently moving around, walking around. You're going to different parts of the government and you're asking different questions and you're getting different perspectives from all over. It kind of teaches you something.
You represent something that didn't exist, 40 years ago in your community. Whether you're second generation, you actually represent at least a third or fourth generation in terms of what your opportunities are and where you are.
My family migrated from Kenya 10 years ago, and never in my wildest dreams would I have ever imagined that I had so much access, that we had access to our representatives, that we elected these people into office and they're here for us.
We learned how to effectively communicate with others to make policy changes and policy recommendations and be able to communicate with different officials and politicians. And so, I mean, that was something that was great to see.
The dilemma, I think, for many Muslim American communities is the spotlight is on, and there's not a neutrality, there's a suspicion that's unwarranted. So a way to overcome that is familiarity in personal relationships. That's what's true, I think, just for about anybody.
When I got elected, there's a whole lot of controversy around the whole Quran thing.
Yeah, right.
And but Nancy Pelosi walked up, she grabbed my hand and she said, "You swear on anything you want."
You've got to have people who are willing to say, this is my community.
In the meetings that we had with whether it was members of Congress or policymakers, it was about the relationships, building networks across the country, so that in 10, 15 years, when everybody's doing great things in their fields, you still have a network of Muslim Americans who you can engage, who you can tap into, and do great things with.
Everyone here is so smart, and they're so engaged, and they're so passionate about making a difference. And I've never spent so much time, or such a short period of time, but done so much with such a smart and just really great group of people. It was unbelievable.
My favorite part about going to the White House and sitting with the people we did, for them to ask us so many questions, it was empowering to know how impactful our voice really is.
The problem of Muslims is not lack of knowledge. Our problem is not that we don't know. Our problem is that we don't do.
It doesn't matter what you do. Your expertise is needed. Communities need what you know. Organizations need what you know in order to build programming. What you have is what Muslims need.
These past 4 days, I think, have been more beneficial than the past few months of my life. And it's pretty amazing, the kind of change you see.
It really made everyone feel like they had a chance to make a difference, to make a change, and they just need to dig deep down inside and find out what it is that they're good at, what it is that they can share with others.
Change is possible if you're willing to embody the Islamic spirit of patient perseverance. Patience is not something that means that you sit back and wait. You don't patiently wait for change, you patiently work for change.
To change not only the community and society for themselves, but for the nation at large.
So for the past 4 years, we've had this amazing opportunity to watch the lives of all these young Muslim Americans get changed because of their experiences in Washington, D.C. So what we've decided to do is to triple the effect of the summits. This year, we're expanding our summits into Hollywood and the news media so that we can then turn this into an institute to develop young Muslim Americans into leaders for America.
Next is going back to my community and actually implementing what I learned, like actually putting it into action. This was just step one. This is not the end. I mean, tomorrow we'll all go back home, but we'll go back to our communities with a responsibility, and that's to spread the word.
We end today 3 days of a summit in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, with the sense that we have an extra burden of social responsibility and an extra burden to sacrifice for the cause of God, which is basically the cause of serving humanity.
A smart man told me that if you're not on the table, you will be on the menu. It's good to see all you guys at the table right now. Thank you.